very good afternoon. Welcome to NTA Channel 5 News at 1. I am Miriam Emeka. Figures from the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, as of 2nd February 2021 indicates 158 new cases of COVID-19 in the FCT, making the total number of confirmed cases to be 17,071, while active cases stand at 5,944, and the number of discharged cases in the territory now stands at 11,000, and sadly, 127 deaths have so far been recorded in the Federal Capital Territory. Currently, there are limited data and information about the impact of many underlying medical conditions in the risk for severe illness from COVID-19. A consultant medical microbiologist with the National Hospital, Abuja, in an exclusive interview with Hadiza Godwin-Ebune, educates the public on underlying conditions that might be at risk for severe illness from the virus.
Medical experts say it is especially important for people at increased risk of severe illnesses from COVID-19 and those who live with them to protect themselves from getting COVID-19. Consultant medical microbiologist with the National Hospital, Dr. Philip Nwanjobi Princewill, says people with underlying illness, when feeling such, should get in touch with healthcare centers immediately.
People who are diabetic, we found that they have a worse outcome. People who have underlying renal disease, or now those who already have a renal condition, for example, acute kidney injury, they have chronic kidney disease. These are people who tend to have worse prognosis, worse outcomes with COVID-19.
He explained further that it is important to understand the risk and know how to keep safe, adding that such people should limit the number of people they come in contact with.
Those people who are not managing these conditions properly before they develop COVID-19. So if somebody that is diabetic and he hasn't been managing himself well, the blood sugar was not controlled, he's not having checkups, you would see he would have a worse outcome than somebody who was being managed and all that.
Dr. Philip says the surest way persons with underlying illness can remain safe is staying healthy, talk to healthcare providers regularly, continue their routine drugs, and remain hydrated at all times. Hadiza Godwin-Ebune, NTA News.
One thing we know for sure is that through deliberate efforts by everyone, the spread of coronavirus can be curbed in this country through testing to know one's status. Hence, the management of NTA Channel 5 Abuja has embarked on COVID-19 testing for all staff. Wofa Ibo tells us more.
The surge in the number of COVID-19 cases in Nigeria, which necessitated the signing into law of bill to contain the spread of the virus by the federal government of Nigeria through National Center for Disease Control, NCDC, the management of NTA Channel 5 Abuja has also joined the fight against COVID-19. The test, which was carried out for all member staff of NTA Channel 5, started with management staff.
It is one of the proactive measures taken by management to ensure that we don't have any casualty of COVID-19, among our staff.
I wish all other organizations can take a cue from what NTA Channel 5 has done today.
People should test and know their status. I think it's very important. It doesn't hurt. It only gives you the opportunity to know what to do and protect yourself.
The sample collectors from the FCT Primary Health Center stated why the test is mandatory for all.
When we're clocking clients, we have the normal COVID-19 signs, which are sore throats, coughing. Some persons could be vomiting, loss of smell, loss of taste.
It's better you know your status so that you can be treated.
In all, it is believed that awareness of one's COVID-19 status will help one to live a more cautious lifestyle. In Abuja, Wofa Ibo, NTA News.
Despite directives given to commercial taxi drivers not to carry more than 4 passengers as a way of preventing the spread of COVID-19, some motorists seem not to comply with this directive. Rosemary Motalambila visited some motor parks for a situation report.
In the wake of the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic and its variant, it is expected that people should be more careful. But that was not the case as some motor parks visited, as many vehicles do not observe social distancing.
I will tell you it's 50% of the passengers that wear masks. As you can see, watch everybody now. As you can see, watch. Because many people are not used to it. Many people complain about it. Many people said if they use it once, they won't use it, they must buy another one again. So that's why, not because of anything.
Increasing liter of the money of the liters of the fuel. We must to increase the prices, or the passenger no one pay the actual price is where he's supposed to pay.
Another issue of concern is that of face masks, as some passengers and drivers are seen without their face masks.
There is COVID-19. If we can really take precautions, it will be nice, because to avoid the spreading, you may not know who has or who doesn't have. So me, personally, I try to preserve myself, to protect myself from any eventuality, because you don't know who has or who does not have.
Therefore, authorities have continued to urge Nigerians on the need to adhere strictly on the safety protocols to prevent the spread of coronavirus. Rosemary Molteleng Bilal, NTA News.
And commercial motorists in the FCT have been called upon to regulate the number of people they take as passengers due to the COVID-19 pandemic or face the wrath of the law. Assistant Commissioner of Police Operations Chike Nwabuwa said this when he featured on Call the Police, a security check program on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. Safia Norma Uche has details.
Several callers on the program voiced their fears to commercial transporters whom they say do not believe in the COVID-19 pandemic. They suggest stringent measures to be taken to contain the spread of the deadly virus. In his response, the Assistant Commissioner of Police Operations Chike Nwabuwa advised FCT residents to avoid crowded taxis and be conscious of their safety.
And what we are doing is to provide comprehensive solution to all. You've had, I don't know whether the man is close to the parks. Like yesterday, I had some persons who called my number and they were telling me, your policemen, don't let us rest to inside park too. I told them that the enforcement is everywhere. And it is even more important to us at the park, because if you check what led to lockdown last year, it was the same process of passengers being overloaded, drivers disobeying and flouting the order of the authorities. So what we are doing now is massive arrest. If we get there, we lay emphasis now on who is the owner of the vehicle. We pick up the driver. If you carry the driver, all the passengers will go their way, and we prosecute the driver. That's what we're doing now.
He said the prosecution of persons who defaulted safety protocols is supposed to serve as warning to people, and urged residents to avoid crowded areas and use the reintroduced Police Rescue Me app to report issues of concern to them. Safia Norma Uche, NTA News.
And away from COVID-19 issues, the Development Control Department of Abuja Metropolitan Management Council has expressed its resolve to recover all encroached walkways to ease human and vehicular movement in the territory. Director of the department, Mukhtar Galadima, gave this indication during the management site monitoring exercise within the metropolis. Shuaibu Onozi Yakubu tells us more.
Provisions of the FCT Act of 1976, as well as the Urban and Regional Planning Act of 1992, give the Development Control Department the right to enforce any incursion into the public infrastructure that contravenes the Abuja Master Plan. The director of the department, Mukhtar Galadima, frowns at a situation in Wuse 2, where a walkway has been annexed by a property owner, disconnecting pedestrians to other parts of the city.
Here is a case of somebody annexing pedestrian walkway to be part of his property. So it was marked by our officers some times back without action, but now we are coming to take action and recover the pedestrian walkway. It makes life easier for pedestrians take the case of this Durban Street. If you want to go to Adetukomo Ademola, you don't have to go round. No, from here you can just walk across. You're on Adetukomo Ademola.
The bulldozer of the Development Control Department refilled the excavated work on a building site at Rabat Street in Wuse Zone 6 for contravening building plan approval, while other structures were also marked for demolition. Shuaibu Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
This is NTA Channel 5 News at 1. We will be right back after this break.
Please cover your mouth with your bent elbow like this. Auntie, cover my mouth for what? Corona don't go from Nigeria. I beg, Auntie, go disturb my life.
No. Coronavirus pandemic is not over. Don't relent in observing safety protocols and good hygiene. Frequent hand washing with soap and water for at least 20 seconds or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Practice good respiratory etiquette, including covering your coughs and sneezes. Avoid close contact with a sick person. Cover your mouth and nose with a mask when around others. Clean and disinfect frequently touched surfaces.
You're absolutely right. Coronavirus is still with us.
Please, and remember, coronavirus pandemic is not over. Protect yourself and others to stay safe.
This message is brought to you by NTA Channel 5, Abuja, the Unity Station.
Hold it! Me! I don't come out my hand from oil concrete. General, what you gonna yarn? What did the yarn serve? I don't understand though. Because they spoil our water and our environment. And they cause our people serious harm. Militants say, you know good. Me, I not do again Sam. Because why? Change begins with me.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency in conjunction with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Thanks for being there. Despite the disbandment of task force on traffic control by the chairman, Abuja Municipal Area Council, Abdullahi Adamu Candido, following complaints of members of the public, it looks like the team is still in the business of clamping down on vehicles in the territory. Ifeanyi Ezumba went to town and brought back this report.
Following the excesses of the task force team on traffic control, the AMAC chairman disbanded the team last year. A drive around the territory indicates that clamping and harassment of residents has continued unabated. Mr. Kenneth Eze, a trader in the Otako market, laments the pain they go through every other day in the hands of hoodlums in the name of task team on traffic control.
Well, they used to tell us that parking here is an unauthorized place, that we should park, we should go inside the market and park. And when you go to inside market, you will discover that the traders, those firms that are selling, those that does not have shop, they use their goods and block the where vehicles supposed to park.
Here by this gate, he was there. I just called him. I said, please come and help me carry this banana. You just come, before you go carry the banana, look at the even banana, you not even drop it. You just come tell me, say they are loaded. I said, you want to park here? They said there is no park, we just park here. It was in 5 minutes. You just come me, the tire was locked.
They didn't put anything, no parking, for them to realize that this place you cannot park, this place you cannot. Highest when you park, you went inside the market, and then when you come back, you realize that they now climb your car and you must pay them for that climbing. So as for me now, I don't know, either then stop them from the federal government, or they are still existing, or they are operating illegal. So I don't know for that, but seriously what they are doing is very bad, because they are...
Mr. Emmanuel John, who claims to work with Utako Market Management, says in order for the market to generate revenue, all vehicles are advised to park inside the market. Failure to do so, they will clamp down the offender's car and fine them.
If they happen to be parking by the side of the roadside, it's causing a lot of traffic gridlock. Yeah, and there's this rampant report of car theft at Utako Market. This is Abuja Municipal Area Council.
Residents and traders at the Utako Market are appealing to government to do the needful and provide a parking space for them to use whenever they visit the market, or better still, stop the activities of hoodlums in the name of AMAC revenue collectors. In Abuja, Ifeanyi Esumba, NT News.
Residents of the Federal Capital Territory are calling on relevant authorities to ensure that traffic lights in the city center are fixed, as most of them are not working, thereby causing obstruction to motorists. Odere Oboro Arutere reports.
Traffic lights play a vital and crucial role in the flow of traffic every day. It also prevents, or at least reduces, the cases of car crash and collisions on the roads, especially at intersections. Traffic lights also provide a safe and orderly flow of cars on the roads and highways. It also helps ensure that pedestrians and cyclists get their fair share of the road. NTA News crew on roving has observed that some traffic lights in the city center are not functioning well, while others are totally bad, thereby causing traffic jam on major roads in the city. All traffic lights within Area 10 need urgent attention, except for this one by Old Parade Ground that is serving its purpose effectively.
Government need to do something about it, because when the traffic is working, everybody will come and then they have to implement, as in to inform people to make sure that they follow the rules and regulations of the traffic.
No traffic light is working except the fence. That's the only traffic light from here to Area 1, from here to the Geriki Hospital. That's the only light that is working here.
At Gudu Junction, none of the traffic lights are working. The story is not different at Area 3 Junction.
The traffic light is not really giving what it's supposed to, because sometimes you see towards evening now, you see this place is blocked and locked.
Residents are optimistic that if these traffic lights are restored, it will go a long way to ease movement within the city. In Abuja, Odiri Ogboru Arutere, NTA News.
At its simplest, ethics is a system of moral and principle identify and distinguishing between morals and values. Chidima Ansanagumo in this report examines moral decadence as it affects the society.
Ethics, which is called moral, is what governs human behavior, which include right, wrong, justice, fairness, respect, tolerance, among others. Both morality and ethics have to do with knowing what is good and bad, as well as treating people as you would want to be treated. How then can moral principles be promoted?
Ethics covers your entire way of life, how you respect the institution you represent, the society you live in, your immediate family, your friends, your neighbors. Right from childhood, we've been taught to appreciate all these differences. Wherever you walk, you have to have other people apart from your tribe or religion. So you have to learn how to coexist with this kind of people.
Others say there is nothing as nice as cultivating good human relations, being considerate with the feelings of others, having a good sense of humor, to be alert to give good service, and not to be found wanting, as these they say will bring down the level of productivity.
We are advising parents to teach their own children the integrity, about honesty, the norms and objective of the society. So we encourage the parents to encourage their children, put them in a good schools so that they can have integrity in future, so that Nigeria will come better. But because now youth are abusing drugs, they are abusing so many things.
for somebody to be trustworthy, for somebody to trust you, as in you have to be honest in everything you do in this life. So treat people well, behave well, so that people can trust you in future to come.
A community few kilometers from Apo Mechanic village is home to over 500 people, with 70% of its population comprising the youths. Residents of Madalla, who are mostly Gbagi, are predominantly farmers producing farm produce such as guinea corn, yam, maize, beans, among others. In spite of the fact that the community owns a motorcycle, which is sometimes used for commercial purpose.
Before I bought the bike, it's my money that I use as I farm, get my crops, sell. Before now, bought the bike. Then it's now I'm going to my farm with it. It's not easy. I have to spend on transportation before going to school. Government have to bring a school here, water and light.
Seeing these electric poles, one would think.
And on the sports scene, the Nigerian Professional Football League continues, with Enyimba Football Club of Aba facing off against Nasarawa United in the match week 8 of the season, as Manchester United equaled a Premier League record in their ruthless battering of Southampton. The details and more on Sports Brief with Rukaya Abbas Hassan.
In the match week 8 of the Nigerian Football League, Enyimba Football Club of Aba, who are a point above Nasarawa United on the league table, face off against each other this evening. Meanwhile, Sunshine Stars, who sit on the 4th position, are up against struggling Abia Warriors, who sit at 19th. Other contenders who are facing each other today are the Lobi Stars and Kwara United, who share 12 points each and sit at 5th and 6th places respectively. Furthermore, Manchester United equaled a Premier League record for a winning margin as they ruthlessly battered 9-man Southampton 9-0 to go level with leaders Manchester City. The contest was essentially decided after just 79 seconds as 18-year-old Alex Jankowitz, on his full Premier League debut, saw red for a high horror tackle on Scott McTominay, prompting Southampton to capitulate. This means United go level on points with Manchester City for 24 hours at least, having played 2 more games than their Manchester rivals who go to Burnley on Wednesday evening. The Red Devils are, however, 4 points ahead of Liverpool, having played a game more, while Saints are 12th, having lost their last 4. In other news, French Open champion Ashley Barty advances in tune-ups in 3 sets. Barty will play American Shelby Rogers in the quarterfinals of the Yarra Valley Classic and could potentially face Serena Williams in the semi-finals of the Australian Open. US Open champion Naomi Osaka advances in the Gippsland Trophy but also needs 3 sets after a slow start on what could easily be called Wild Wednesday at Melbourne Park. With Sports Brief, Rukaya Abbas Hassan, NTA News.
And just before we go, remember to obey all COVID-19 safety protocols to stay safe. And that's the news. We thank you for watching. Do have a lovely afternoon.